Hello, it's so great to be of service in this way tonight. This is my first live channeling of a divine being, and in that channeling of Thoth, this is something that has been building up for some time. So, just to give a bit of context, as David the personality, I'm going to give about a 5 minute or so introduction, some background info, things that you might want to hear and might want to know, and then after about that time, I'm going to shift slightly. I'm going to lead you through a guided meditation while I shift. And then there might be a few moments of silence, not longer than a minute, probably about 15, 20 seconds, I think at a healthy maximum. And then Thoth is going to come in. And when Thoth comes in, and the name is also traditionally pronounced Thoth, but Thoth is a more common cultural pronunciation. And how one language expresses a word is just one form of vibration and translation. So, you may hear something differently than as I just described, and whatever you heard is, right for you to hear, how that vibration went through to you. But like anything that comes through in this channeling, this is a two-part channeling. So in my book, Magic is Real, and follow-up books, I break down channeling as related to what an individual person who is channeling the being is capable of. So for example, there's a lot of people who claim to channel Archangel Michael. And if you consider tuning in to one of those people, some like Paul Selig, who is a New York Times bestseller, incredible channel and psychic and medium. I've worked with him numerous times. He's given a lot of live workshops. He's very high vibration. I don't think Paul's ego is very present when he's channeling. Now, many other people who might be new to channeling Archangel Michael, for that example, might have a lot of their ego and personality along the line. They may not have done as much inner work. They might have very strong agendas, intentions, fears, or triggers. And so in that, maybe in Paul's scenario, Melchizedek, Archangel Michael, comes through, say, 98%, and 2% of Paul is there. If you listen to his books, occasionally the guides, he calls them, say, Paul is getting in the way of us saying this, so we'll say it a different way. So I feel, for me, what feels completely aligned and in full honesty and transparency, that I'm able to transmit about 85%, which I feel is quite high. I don't feel it's the highest in the world, but I feel it's higher than most beginners who, as I described in that example, would be 10, 20, 30, if that. So there might be some statements that are 100% resounding, ringing with truth, and there might be some statements or a couple words here and there occasionally that might come up that you might feel are a little bit lower of vibration, still possibly very useful and insightful. So in being fully honest and transparent, this is a skill I'm developing, but at 85%, I think that's a high enough level to warrant me saying I can and I'm able to channel Thoth accurately and well. I'm getting impressions that my own ego is and senses of self-worth are putting the number down, that it's closer to 95% accurate transmission and 5% ego filter. So I'll leave it completely up to you to see what percent of Thoth you feel is coming through. But I would recommend that, whatever your beliefs are, that you take the content as you feel it resonates, essentially at face value. And you don't give extra credibility or respect to a being named Thoth or a being named David Solomon, that, I'm a person delivering it, Thoth is a person, a being beyond person providing the content, but really think of why you're here, why you've tuned in, and what you're encountering and how it relates to your life, and possibly the lives of people around the world, as we're all thinking about global shifts and global change. So just another 2 minutes of intro. I see people keep coming in, so I want to try to start when the numbers stop growing, but just another minute or two. So with all that being said, maybe you believe that Thoth, Hermes Trismegistus, who wrote the Emerald Tablets, who is an ascended master, who has many reincarnations throughout his life, big deal in Atlantis, big deal in Egypt. Maybe you believe all that stuff. Maybe you don't believe any of it. If you believe it, I think this content will be really rich for you and really powerful. Some serious upgrades, activations, healings, knowledge. You'll be like, wow, this is maybe not quite Kabbalion, but on the continuum. And you might want to actually re-listen to it, rewatch it several times to fully really absorb it. In the Kabbalion, it says, if you listen to it 100 times or read it 100 times, you'll have to do that to grasp the full value. And interestingly, I had a friend who knew somebody who read Think and Grow Rich 500 times and had $500 million. So it's interesting, encountering a lot of content that you feel is rich deeply and having it, level you up. But as far as this transmission, as far as this value for you, I want you to, again, just take it as it is. So I'm about to make a shift. And so as this shift happens, I want you to close your eyes. And for the transmission, you can close or open your eyes, doesn't really matter. And I want you to just breathe slowly and deeply. And if there's any distractions in your environment, I'd advise you to turn them off, maybe put your phone on airplane mode. You could put on like very, very soft music without lyrics, or at least lyrics in a language you understand. And just kind of relax your nervous system. As you relax your nervous system and let all your thoughts and worries and cares about the day leave and just flow away like water, I want you to imagine a portal opening in the center of your forehead where your third eye is. Often is portrayed, even though technically it's inside your brain and everywhere your sixth chakra can touch. And as you see this portal open, I just want you to visualize a purple light coming into it, and from the back a purple light going out of it. And I want you to envision your whole space expanding with white light. And if your mind or critical mind or ego comes online, I want you to allow whatever comes up to come up, but I want you to focus on your breath and these lights that are in your third eye coming out of it on both sides of your head, and then of course the transmission as much as it resonates. So now there's going to be a short bit of silence, and Thoth will come in. Hello mortals, I am Thoth. For those of you who are already triggered from that first word, know that mortality, like many things, is a temporary condition. It is not a demeaning term, rather it is addressing you as you see and perceive yourselves in this moment, at this time, at this place. Mortality, as have known many who have gone deep in the mystery schools, is simply a representation, a not knowing, fully embodied knowing of yourself as consciousness, spirit, soul, essence, that which is eternal. As you incarnate and pass through the veils of Maya, as you allow your memories to be stripped away so that you may live one life as an ego